Good morning. I wanted to do sort of an unboxing, initial impressions kind of a thing, because finally got a new paper cutter, and it does a lot more things than just paper cut. But I mostly got it because I'm doing a craft show in the near future, and I really wanted something that would be portable. And yes, my cat associate is meowing in the background because he's overseeing. Anyway, I wanted something that would be portable and not require bringing like 15 tools with me. So let me get this thing out of the packaging and kind of walk you through all the stuff it does. It's been around for a while, and I actually saw it on one of the crafting channels I follow. LB Handcrafted was using it, and I was like, that's a really neat thing. And I like having separate tools generally, but the idea of having it all in one is pretty neat. And all of my paper cutters, other than this one, it even has a whole manual to tell you how to use it, which we're not going to be reading initially, but might look at later. Anyway, what was I saying? Oh, and one of the things I like about it is I don't actually have this style paper cutter. All the ones I have are sort of the guillotine style, or guillotine, however you pronounce it. So this has a lot of parts to it. It has a built-in scoring platform. It has a built-in stamping platform, which works. Fiskars has one kind of similar to this, where you basically pull it off and adhere the stamps to the back, and then you position your material, and then push down as opposed to folding with the MISTI door. I didn't really get it for stamping primarily. I got it mostly for cutting, but all of those things are options certainly. We will try all those things. So if you fold this out of the way, you can pick up this piece and then flip it around, and it gives you like a solid side, so you can line stuff up for scoring properly. I don't know if I will need to score at the moment, but we'll see. And then that just folds back down, and the flat side is for cutting. You have a corner rounding punch, you have just a hole punch, and you have a tab punch. Let's see. Woo! Hello, kitty. There's a kitty in frame. Anyway, we'll get him off the desk for the moment. Anywho, so it does all those things. And it does things, and it has these pegs at the bottom if you want to tie bows and pom-poms and stuff like that. I don't do that too much. The neat thing it also has is on the back you have your magnets to, if you need to hold your stamping platform down. You also have the, I don't know what you want to call it, sort of the pegs that you would put in to do the tying I just mentioned. And you have this really cool, I can get it out. You have this cool jig, which, depending on how you put it down, can either do envelope folding, or banner folding, or tag folding. So, and if you can see, like there, for example, this says tag, and it has the groove you're supposed to line up with. So you would basically do that to sort of anchor this so it doesn't move around. This is magnetic, which is nice, which I didn't realize, so like it stays put, which is a big plus. But my question was doing something a little bit more simple. Probably helps if I put it back in the correct way. There we go. And it is called the Works because it does all those things. Let's see if there's anything I didn't mention that it does. It cuts paper. It allows you to do envelopes. It allows you to do tags. It allows you to do file folders, bows, pom-poms, tassels, all that stuff. And then standard stamping. So I'm going to move the stamping piece to the side because what I really want to do is, since I have a craft show soon, I really would like to do a little bit of mass production of birthday cards because I don't have any, and I don't know. They always seem like something that folks are looking for. So I am actually going to work on using some cream card stock. I think it's a little more holiday-y. I also have some newish card bases that actually kind of coordinate with that pattern paper pad I was showing you guys a couple days ago. But they have like ink-like backgrounds, so I think that would be really cool with the cream. Anyway. We'll worry about the backgrounds once we get there, but basically I want to make 12 card fronts, which is 3 sheets of paper. This does have a ruler on it in multiple places, and you have, what's the word I'm looking for? Words are hard this morning. And you have a number of score lines. This is, I believe, 11. So this can handle up to 12 by 12 paper, mostly. Obviously, you have like this piece at the side that's going to stay put. So, I mean, like your widest cut is about 6.5 inches. So if you could put a 12 by 12 piece here, but you'd wind up cutting it down. And it's nice that there are markings both here and there. One of the issues with my other large paper cutter is but it's kind of tricky to work with because it only has half-inch measurements. So basically, let me move this over a little bit. What I want to do is cut at 4 inches. I will say it's slightly, you have to be slightly careful. The nice part is you can line it up with the groove, but like because they're 1/8 of an inch grooves, you have to be fairly careful that you're lined up correctly. And then I haven't used one of these, but in theory you just like swipe it up and it should cut this. So let's see, because this is down. That cut quite nicely. See, this I don't think is a true card base. Anyway, so then I want to go the other way and do a 5 1/4, which is there. I'm just going to make sure that's all the way up to the top. And that looks like a pretty decent card base. Let's just see how my math is. I'll just grab a card base for comparison. US Standard A2 per my personal preference. Yeah, and that works out great. I think that'll look pretty nice, especially with a sort of a simple happy birthday on it. Super. So now we just need to do this a whole bunch more times. Well, that's pretty good. Those are basically identical to each other. That is pretty nice. And it's nice you can lift this out of the way to get rid of scraps. It has magnets that hold it down, which is why it looks like it's a little more tricky than you think it would be to open it up. Those are very consistent. I haven't used this style blade before. I'm surprised how well it cuts. And the nice thing is, you can buy replacement blades from We Are Memory Keepers, and I want to say a 3-pack for not too much money. So I will be back. Well, actually, I think we have a pretty good read on the cutting. I think the cutting on this is really good. I don't need to do any scoring for this particular project, so I'm a fan. I think this works really well. I think it'll be great to be portable as well. I'm just kind of curious. Let me grab a piece of scrap. I'm curious how well the corner rounding works pretty nice too. So, I don't know. Definitely a fan of this thing. I'm going to use it quite a bit, I think, because having a scoreboard and a paper cutter together is pretty nice. I think the only thing I want to compare it to in the future, I think, is like an actual rotary paper cutter, because they're another different style that I haven't tried. Anyway, thanks for checking this out.